Hey, it's London. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to feature a couple products for the next 2 weeks that I found in my collection and I haven't been using, and I want to dedicate 2 weeks to really use them and try and get inspired by them. Alright, so the first product that I'm going to pull out of my collection is an old one. It's the Anasazi Artist Palette. It looks like this. I used to love this palette when it first came out because I like a lot of bright eyeshadows, but I found that now that I've been using the Subculture, the Norvina palette, all of the new Anasazi palettes, that I haven't been giving this one the love that it needs. So I want to put this aside and try and use it and be creative with it for a little while. The next thing is the Colorpop eyeshadows. I beat myself up over getting this. I got the palette, if you can see, it's a little dirty, but I got a ton of the Colorpop eyeshadows when they came out with them, and they're pretty colorful, they're really pretty, but for some reason I beat myself up over using them, and I've used every color at least once, but after I used it I kind of just put it to the side and I didn't really touch it after that. So I'm gonna try and use this maybe in collaboration with the other palettes. And then lastly is a palette that's about 3 years old now, and I got it at the makeup show in Dallas a few years ago, and I created a custom palette of all the shadows that I didn't really have or that I thought was unique at the time. And I have this really beat up Anasazi like custom palette, and these were all the shadows that I picked in there, and it's pretty warm on one side and then cooler on the other side. But I found that I used this the same as the other ones. Like, I used it a little bit and then I bought new stuff and it just got pushed to the back. But I don't want to throw any of these away. I want to use them. I want to be creative with them. So those are the eyeshadows that I'm going to be trying to use here. Next is going to be the face. So last holiday Becca came out with these, oh, what are they called? Light Chaser Highlighter for face and eyes. And I got two colors. I got Champagne Dream Flashes Bellini and Opal Flashes Jade. Now, I use these a few times, but I find that since they're in their own little compacts, I don't really use them as much as I thought that I would. But they look like this. I like them a lot, but I don't use them as much as I should. The next thing is something that I did use a lot that I didn't think I would use so much. And when it first came out, I bought it because I didn't have a lot of highlighters. It was kind of a new thing, and then colorful highlighters were getting into a trend, and I was like, I'll try it. And then I ended up using it for my eyes, for my face, for my body, for clients, so many things. But now that a lot of other highlighter palettes have come out, I haven't been giving it love. But it is the Anasazi Moonchild palette, and if you didn't know, it looks like this. It's really, really pretty. You see, I dug into it, but I want to start using it again because the new Sugar Glow palette, all the new highlighter palettes have kind of taken its spot. Lastly, for the face is the oldest palette that I have, that I bought this when it first came out. It was probably like, it's been way too long. It's probably been like 5 years, but I do want to try and give it a little bit of use because I used it up for about 6 months straight, and then I started getting more blushes and contours and all of that stuff. But it is the Lunatic Cosmetic Lab. It's the, what do they call this? The contour palette. But it's when I was super, super fair, and this was marketed more for fair-skinned people. see, these colors I use all the time during Halloween, so I'm excited to bring this out. But all of these blushes are super nice, the contour is really nice. I just want to try and use this more. I want to be creative, use it on my eyes, use it on my face. Like, I want to dedicate a ton of inspiration to all of this stuff. Alright, so now all the fun stuff is out of the way. Now let's get into foundation and all of this stuff. This is more like I want to hit pan on these things. I kind of want to finish it. So I'll start with foundations, liquid. First thing is the Bare Minerals Pro Foundation. I can't really tell how much is left in here, but I've had it for a while, so I don't think that there's a lot in here. But it's in the shade Dawn number 2. It is a little fair for me, but I want to try and use this so I can focus on all of that, and these two foundations can be my go-to base. The other one is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea, the water foundation with SPF, and it is in the color Fair Light Neutral. This one's a little bit darker, so like on days that I'm gonna go outside and venture out in the world, I will probably use this one because it has the SPF and it's a little bit darker, so it matches me a little bit better. And then the last thing for foundation wise is the Winkie Luxe Diamond Powders Our Girl Best Friend in the light. I bought this and I used it consistently probably for about 2 weeks, but it's just like a face powder, and then I never used it again. So I want to try on days that I don't want to do a whole face of foundation to try and use that powder up. And then for primer, liquid highlight, I have the Tarte Brighter Days in a little travel size, and this is almost gone. Like when you hold it up, you can kind of see that it's like right here, and it is an odd kind of color. It's like a champagne-y, it's shimmery. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but it pulls a little silver on me for some reason. But so I stopped using it because it gets really shiny, and I like my highlights to be a little bit more placed correctly. So I don't know what to do with that. I'm just gonna try and use it as a primer. I don't really use a primer. I use a moisturizer as a primer. So hopefully if I just put it in front of me, I'll use it up. And then concealers. These two, I feel like I've been trying to finish for a stupid amount of time. Now, for the Dior Skin Star Concealers, they're both in a little bit more of like a deluxe size. The actual size is about this long. But I have shade 1 and I have shade 2. I've used shade 1 a ton to where I'm kind of scraping out the sides. And then shade 2 still has a pretty decent amount to it. But the problem with shade 2 is that it's a little too dark to be used all under my eyes. I just use it right in the corner of my eyes where there's a little bit more of a blue-purple tinge to my dark circles. And so I'm going to try and use these. So you will be seeing these a lot until they are gone. And then now for kind of like eye accessories, mascara. So for primer, I have the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer Eye and Lid Primer. Now, I like this a lot, especially for a lip primer. Like if you're going to be going to an event, or if you're going to be going to dinner and you want your lips to be pretty smooth. You tried the lip balm and everything, but it doesn't really stay on the way that you want it to. This works fantastic for that. For my eyes, on the other hand, I don't really like it because I do pretty colorful stuff. So I like something that's gonna have a little bit of a tint to it, and even when I put concealer over it, it kind of sticks to it a little bit funny. Like it's something that's great to be put over with powder, but when you put over a liquid on top of this, it kind of sticks a little funny. Even if you carry it out a little bit too far past your eye and you get foundation on it, it leaves a weird, like you can see where it is, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna try and use this a little bit more. I used it today and I tried to put like the Winkie Luxe powder on top of it to where there's a little bit of a tint to it, and I don't know, it had some liquid come out of it first, so I've been trying to like maneuver it all so it's mixed in, but it's definitely not staying. It's been laying there for too long that it's separated. Don't want that to happen. And then for mascara, I have a whole pile of mascaras that I have not touched yet because I feel like these two mascaras have been lasting me for a ridiculous amount of time. Now I love both of them and I almost don't want to use them up, but I want to try, like I have the new Smashbox mascara, I have the Kush mascara, I have the Hourglass mascara, and I don't want to open any of them because I don't want any of them to dry out if they were to dry out. So the two mascaras that I have, first is the Monsieur Big by Lancome. I like this one a lot if you want volume. It does add a decent amount of length to my lashes, but most of all is very voluminous. The next one is the Benefit Bad Gal Bang Mascara. Now, I'll be honest, I hated this mascara the first like 3 times that I used it because it was super, super watery, and I found that since my eyelashes are a little bit long and I have more hooded eyes, I was getting mascara on the like my crease using this, and then it would go all the way down here, and it was just getting frustrating, and I just didn't want to use it. So after that, I opened it, kind of set it aside for like a week. It dried up a little bit, but not too much, where it's a nice creamy consistency now, and it works magic. Like, it gives me length, gives me the perfect amount of volume, it doesn't clump up. It's just like my good everyday mascara, but I still want to use other ones. But that should be everything that I will be using for the next 2 weeks, I want to say. I would say month like I did in my other video, but I know Halloween is coming up and I don't want to confine myself to a certain amount of products because I like having fun for Halloween. I'm going to try and dedicate a couple of videos to all this stuff so people can get inspired by using more stuff that they can pull it out, and even though it could be 2 or 3 years old, you can still use it. You can still try and motivate yourself, even if you feel like you've done every look that you think you could do with it. Pull in another palette. Join the 2 palettes. There's no rule that you can't do that. So if you want to see that, it'll be coming up. And I hope you enjoyed everything. You guys have a great rest of your day and stay tuned.